Hello, contractors. My name is Scott Stevens. I am the coordinator for the Construction Combine here in Pocatello. And I want to talk to you a little bit about this year's Construction Combine and ask for your help, ask for you to get involved because we need you. And to be honest, this is a great event. It's great for the community, it's great for the high school students, it's great for job seekers. But the reason why we do it is really for the construction industry to help build a talent pool for contractors to be able to draw from in order to put people on their teams and on their crews that are at least semi-skilled and ready to go to work. And so please consider being involved in this. And let me take it just a few minutes to tell you a little bit about what we're doing this year so you can know what's going on. So number one, these are the dates. They're going to be March 31st and April 1st of this year. Now, you don't need to commit to both days. That's 2 days there. And I'll kind of talk a little bit about what we would need from you. But these are the dates. So mark these down in your calendar. Next thing is probably some other dates you will need to be aware of are March 24th is when we do our walkthrough. This is when we go to the parking lot of Home Depot and kind of walk through where everything's going to be at. You definitely want to be there so you can see where you would be if you're doing training or where we're going to be building the sheds. Then the next one is March 30th. That's the night before we come together and stage everything. You might need to bring some tools or some equipment or just again see, okay, this is where I'm going to be at. And then obviously the dates of the event are March 31st and April 1st. So these are things that we want you mark down in your calendar as you kind of consider this option and this opportunity. So the other thing I want you to be aware of, we are going to try to keep our numbers below 100. Now, this isn't set in stone and things are seeming to kind of lighten up a little bit with the pandemic, but we want to be somewhat conscientious about these things. So we've kind of decided that we're going to limit the amount of students or the participants to 74. Contractors, this isn't necessarily going to be limited to 16, but we want to kind of keep it around that. And the reason why is there'll be 16 training stations. Again, on day 2, we're going to build 12 sheds. So we'll need 12 contractors to act as team leads. And, and then obviously we'll have 74 students and 12 sheds happening that day. But again, this is how we're kind of trying to have, don't let this say like, oh man, I don't know if they want me to be involved. We want you to be involved and we will figure out how to get you involved. Again, this number is not set in stone. It's just something we're trying to using as a good guideline to make sure that we're being good citizens, that we know that we're not getting on top of the radar for authorities to come in and try to, what are you guys doing here? We do have to be conscientious of what's happening, within the state, federal, even university policies, as well as even like corporate America policies. And so we just have to kind of be conscientious. But bottom line, I want you to understand is we want you to be involved in any way, shape, or form. These are the training topics that we're going to be talking about or doing: framing, electrical, roofing, flooring, restoration, HVAC, welding, siding, plumbing, concrete. These are ones we went out and talked to a lot of contractors and they kind of said, these are some areas we're in need of skilled labor. So, or at least, people that know what they're doing. And so we thought, let's use these topics to do our training in. So those are our training topics. Some of you that might have seen this before, this is just an overview of our or an outline of the event. Again, we've already talked about the 24th, but that's the day, again, we'll do our walkthrough. We'll also go over the plans of the sheds so that if you're involved in building the sheds, you kind of see how it all kind of comes together. And then on March 30th, again, is kind of, we call it pre-training, but we'll get everything staged up that night. Home Depot is working on putting together a pro show. The students will be going through like what we call a functional movement screening, meaning that they'll be screened health wise to, are they healthy enough and physically capable enough to work in the construction industry. So that's going to be happening on March 30th. And then again, on March 31st is training day. Just kind of to go over how training day works. We'll have a safety briefing in the morning. Again, to talk about like, these are ways to stay safe, not just pandemic wise, but working in construction, things that you need to be concerned about. And then we'll get into the training. We'll have 2 framing stations, 2 electrical stations, 2 plumbing stations, 2 concrete stations, 2 roofing stations. Obviously, you can see all that here. Each station will have 4 iterations that we'll go through that are 2 hours long. So they'll start at 8 o'clock, and then like the first training iteration will go from 2 to 10. Then they'll rotate from 10 to noon. Then we'll have a break for lunch, and then they'll go again, start again with another training station about 12:30, 1 o'clock. That'll go to about 2:30, and then from 2:30 to 4:30 and then we'll have about a half hour of just cleanup afterwards as we get ready for the second day. But again, like the training will take place in 2-hour increments. So you'll probably have the opportunity, if you're a trainer that day, if you're teaching, say, framing, you'll have 4 iterations that 4 groups that will come through, about 5 to 6 students. They'll come through. So you'll get a chance to see about 20 students or so that you'll have actual eyes on and be able to evaluate if they'd be a good employee. Then the next day, April 1st, we'll put the sheds together. In the framing station and the roofing station, we will actually build the walls, bases, and roofs of the shed. Then we'll, again, move those together at the end of the next day. We'll actually build, we call them kits. We'll put kits together that will be ready for the second day. When they come in to build the shed, it usually takes about a couple, it takes the morning and into the afternoon. We need team leaders to come and help teach the kids how to put it all together. It's a great opportunity. It's a great experience because in the afternoon, once it's all put together, the veterans come and we present the sheds to the veterans. And it's just a really special moment. Veterans are so grateful to be thought of for their sacrifice. And as us, it's just a neat experience, and we want as many people involved. And so as I say this, you don't have to commit to both days. If you can only commit to the training day and be a trainer, that's fantastic. If you're like, oh, I can be a team lead, I can't really commit to training day, but I'd love to come be a team lead. Awesome. And definitely this part here, when we do this veterans presentation, we want as many people there as possible. We want that to be a really special experience for everybody involved. And so if you were involved over here, we want you to come, and it'll probably start about 3, maybe, 3:30. We want you to be there. So but bottom line is, again, you don't necessarily need to commit to both days, but we do need your help. I just want to show you a little bit like where it will be at. We're going to be on this side of Home Depot's parking lot. This is the east side. We'll probably be taking in about this much space. This is a little bit of what we imagine it looking like as we outline it. Again, a lot of this will change as we get down and do a walkthrough, but this is how we see things, how we see it being outlined or laid out while we're there. Again, we want you to be involved. As you see, we do have a safety plan. I think we've done a lot of legwork that all you really need to be able to do is just come and teach your craft. Set up a little bit in the afternoon, come to the shed summit if you're going to be involved in building the sheds. But really, we know that you're busy. We know that you have a lot going on, and we don't want to waste your time, but we do want your help, and we do want this to be something where you can find good, talented people by working with them before you actually have to hire them. So please consider this. We want you to be involved. Again, this is what we have going on with day one. These are the individuals or companies that have actually said, hey, we'll help, that we've talked to, but we want more help. We need, obviously, you can see we have a lot of spaces here that are open that we want you to be involved. Same thing with day two. We need more team captains. We need people involved. In fact, right now we just have one team captain. We want you there. We need you. Please consider this. It's a great opportunity to find talent, find somebody that maybe, without having to like talk to your nephew or talking to your cousin or something like that you're unsure about. This is an opportunity to like really feel somebody out before you actually have to hire them. So please take a minute. We'd love for you to come and be involved in this. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes with me. Here's my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me. Call me, text me, email me. I mean, if you know where I live, come by and visit me. If you know where I work up at ISU, come by. Whatever it is, we want you to be involved. So thank you for taking a few minutes to watch this. Please, again, we want you to be involved in this, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.